Welcome to Founded on Faith Fridays, where we're addressing the elephant in the room, the recent DEI or Diversity, Equity, Inclusion executive orders. This is definitely a topic that is stirring our spirits and testing our faith. Listening to your concerns and witnessing the waves of uncertainty rippling through our community, I felt called to address this topic head on. You're in the right place if you feel overwhelmed, confused, or even concerned. Let's break down these changes and discover how to move forward in wisdom and faith while protecting ourselves in the workplace. So, what are executive orders anyway? Let's clarify it with a little Executive Orders 101. Executive orders are powerful directives, not laws, from the president's desk to federal agencies, government employees, and contractors, telling them how to enforce existing laws or manage federal programs. While they don't have the same reach as federal laws, which apply to everyone, they're still pretty powerful within their own sphere. Even though private companies like Google and Target aren't required to follow these orders, they're choosing to align their practices anyway. It's a potent reminder of how executive orders can influence corporate America even without direct authority. Executive orders last as long as the president wants or until a future president reverses or changes them. Courts can also strike them down or put them on hold if they are deemed unconstitutional, which we have seen happen recently. While executive orders are not the same as laws passed by Congress, they have a tangible impact on the day-to-day operations. In short, executive orders do not create new laws, and they cannot take away your legal rights, but they can influence how laws are applied. Let's contrast this with federal laws, the bedrock of our legal system. Remember Schoolhouse Rock's I'm Just a Bill? This wasn't just a catchy tune. It's really how things work. A bill bounces between the House and Senate, getting debated, tweaked, and voted on before landing on the president's desk. This thorough process has given us cornerstone DEI protections like Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and the Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA. Laws that have stood the test of time and continue to protect workers today. Let me put this crystal clear terms. Federal laws are the supreme authority in our legal playbook. They bind everyone from Main Street to Wall Street to Pennsylvania Avenue. They're here to stay unless Congress decides to change them or the Supreme Court finds them unconstitutional. Here's what you need to remember. No executive order can override these laws, period. If an executive order tries to arm wrestle with the federal law wins. That's not just a preference, it's a cornerstone of our legal system. In short, federal laws protect employees' rights and can be enforced through lawsuits. Executive orders cannot take away these legal rights. Let's talk about three major impacts of these executive orders regarding DEI. First, the federal agencies and private companies who are jumping on the bandwagon, of course, are seeing their DEI programs dismantled. These programs are bridges. They've been helping people cross discrimination barriers and unequal workplace treatment. With these bridges being removed, many are wondering how they'll address workplace disparities moving forward. Second, there's a significant shift in education. The orders have turned off the funding tap for critical race theory programs in K through 12 schools. Imagine reading a book with chapters removed. Our students might miss out on meaningful conversations about our shared history and different perspectives that shape our society today. Third, the orders take a binary stance on gender identity, defining it strictly as male or female. This creates hurdles for transgender Americans, from military service restrictions to challenges with accessing essential services. For many, this feels like closing doors that were previously opening. I know this is a lot to take in and comprehend, but individuals must understand how to protect themselves, especially regarding workplace fairness, discrimination, and maintaining a supportive environment. Proverbs 22:3 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." Here are practical steps people can take to protect themselves and keep their sanity. Know your rights. Remember that your legal rights are still protected even as these policies shift. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 still defends against discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. The Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, still protects people with disabilities. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, still holds employers accountable. Some state and local laws provide stronger protections than federal laws. So check with your state's Human Rights Commission or Labor Department for specific protections in your area. These are the laws of the land, but our ultimate confidence doesn't rest in human laws. It rests in God's justice. Psalms 46:1 reminds us, God is our refuge and strength and every present help in trouble. Whether you're facing discrimination, feeling unsupported, or unsure what's next, God is your refuge. Next, you want to document everything. Exodus 17:14 reminds us to write down the following on a scroll as a reminder, emphasizing the importance of keeping records and showing how records can serve as our testimony. So keep records of any discrimination, harassment, or retaliation you experience. Document the dates, times, locations, and details of what happened. Include names of witnesses if possible. Keep emails, messages, or any written communication related to your concerns. You also want to build community. Utilize employee resource groups, or ERGs, even if formal DEI programs are removed. Connect with coworkers who support inclusion and fairness. Allies can help amplify your voice and create a culture of respect, even without formal DEI programs. Also, seek a trusted mentor who can guide you in navigating workplace challenges, whether inside or outside of the organization. These options offer community support and advocacy. God reminds us in Matthew 18:20 that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Next, you want to leverage your HR strategically. If you face discrimination, report it through your company's former channels. Even if DEI offices are limited, HR departments are still responsible for addressing complaints of discrimination and harassment. When raising concerns, present facts clearly and stay professional, which helps your case be taken seriously. You also want to know when to escalate. Proverbs 31 verses 8-9 tells us to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Deuteronomy 1:16 states, "And I charge your judges at that time, hear the disputes between your people and judge fairly, whether the cases is between two Israelites or between an Israelite and a foreigner residing among you." Both verses support the concept of fair arbitration. If your concerns aren't addressed internally, you can file a complaint with the EEOC, or Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, because they investigate discrimination claims related to race, gender, religion, age, disability, and much more. Consult an employment lawyer, especially if your case involves retaliation or severe discrimination. Many offer free consultations to help you understand your options and your rights. Stay informed and educated. Even if DEI training is limited at work, you can still educate yourself on equity, inclusion, and workplace rights issues. Understanding these topics can help you recognize bias and know how to respond. Stay updated on legal and policy changes that affect workplace rights. This helps you anticipate shifts and adapt accordingly. You also want to focus on your mental health because your mental health matters. 2 verses in the Bible validate seeking counsel or professional help. Proverbs 15:22 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." Proverbs 12 verse 15 says, "The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice." Experiencing discrimination or feeling unsupported at work can take a toll on your mental health. So utilize employee assistance programs if available, or seek support from a therapist, a counselor, or support groups. I know these changes might feel unsettling to you, but here's what gives me hope. The foundation of workplace protections remains strong. Think of it this way. Executive orders can change the scenery, but they cannot change the foundation on which your fundamental rights stand. Your mission now is to stay informed, stay connected with your allies, and advocate for what's right. Sometimes the greatest test of faith is continuing to walk forward when the path seems unclear. Thank you for joining us for another Founded on Faith message. We look forward to seeing you next Friday.